you a wealth of information. So hopefully, even if you have questions after today, you'll be able to have contact information and get in contact with our faculty and staff here at Lamar University. So we're excited to get started. To start this session, we're going to have some current LU students, and then we will have housing that'll join us later. We'll have financial aid, and then our education department here at Lamar will join us as well to kind of talk about specifically about our education program. So with that, my name is Bailey Smith. I am Assistant Director of Admissions here at Lamar University. I will be giving some admissions information later on, but I wanted to let our students introduce themselves. They are a part of what's called the LU crew. They give campus tours, answer phones, and do various other tasks for the Lamar University Welcome Center. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Karen. I am a senior here at Lamar. I'm a psychology major here from Beaumont, Texas.
And my name is Ibuka. I'm also a senior here. I'm an industrial engineering major with a minor in kinesiology, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
Thank you guys for joining us today. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. And then if we have any students that are here joined with us that have questions as well, put those in the chat. We'd love to ask your questions and answer them for you guys. If you can't get all your questions asked, you can always email visit@lamar.edu to get in touch with a LU crew member to kind of talk with them about their experiences. So talking about your experiences, can you guys tell us what has been your favorite thing that you've experienced while at Lamar University?
I think my favorite thing would be making new friends and how friendly everybody is. Coming to Lamar, you really can ask anybody for help and they'll be able to help you out. Making connections here, everybody knows somebody. I got this job on campus because of somebody that I knew. So just the atmosphere is really nice here on campus. It's, like a small school with like a big school atmosphere. So everything's been really fun so far.
And kind of mine would be kind of piggybacking off what Karen said, just the connections that you get to make being over here. I've met a lot of very close friends here. A lot of the professors are extremely nice. They're always trying to help students, always trying to make sure that the classes are understandable and you're doing well in your classes. And also like our football games, all the activities and organizations that we have. My favorite part would probably be like tailgating and the football games and the basketball games. So.
Awesome. What is there to do like on campus? And then is there things that you guys like to do off campus as well?
So there's always something to do on campus. Right now we're leading up to Halloween. So we have a lot of events coming up. I know they're even turning like the engineering building into a haunted house. They have we have our Carnivoo event coming up. Homecoming's around the corner. So we're gonna have events every single day. Whether it's I know right now it's like carving a pumpkin or watching like a scary movie, or homecoming week, they'll do like fun activities out throughout the day. And then here in Beaumont, they have a lot of fun events as well, especially now that, COVID numbers are getting lower here. So I know this weekend they had the big Oktoberfest, which was at a park with like a lot of live bands and food trucks and food stands. So we always have something going on here.
Yeah, like Karen said, especially on campus, if you're interested in sports, there's always a sports games. We have lots of teams playing, and all the games are free for students. Just show your student ID. And a lot of organizations will have events going on during the week. They'll have a couple of game nights, movie nights, stuff like that. So it's always kind of an event happening on campus that you can go to and just kind of generally meet people and have fun.
Awesome. So talk to us kind of about like your education experience at Lamar University, like your classes, the classroom environment, the different opportunities you've had through your degree.
Okay, so one thing I enjoyed about my degree is it's very hands-on because I am doing engineering. So we get lots of opportunities to work with machines that you'd see outside in the plants when you graduate. So it's like you get a firsthand experience of all the equipment that you'll be using when you graduate. And also we get put in contact with a lot of different engineering companies around the area. One thing we're doing now is our senior design. So we get to work with an engineering company and we actually get to help them do some work. So if they need something done, we'll go in and kind of see what the problem is and try and help them fix it. So one thing I've really enjoyed about the engineering department is the hands-on experience that we get while we're still in school.
And for me, being a psychology major, you do have a few of those big auditorium style classrooms. I am, under Bachelor of Science, so I did have to take like A&P and a few science courses. So those were more, auditorium style classroom big classes. A lot of my upper level classes and even smaller like history, aeronautics history, there was maybe 25 people in there. The professor will know your name, even if it's like a big class. They want to know who you are. They want to if you're coming to class. A lot of times if you like miss class, they'll email and say, they want to know what's going on. They want to know ways to help you. If you're struggling in class, they'll recommend our tutoring center. We have tutoring in pretty much all of our classes. And all of the services are free. They'll recommend the writing center for papers, and they'll even like give extra credit if you go to the writing center because they want to make sure that you are using all your resources on campus. And it's just like because they're very one-on-one. They want to make sure you succeed. A lot of professors even give you like their cell phone number and just say, don't call me on the weekends, but any questions, let us know. Because our goal is to see you succeed and, go on and hopefully come back for a master's program. But it's very, very helpful.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing about your all's experiences. So this question is going to be more for you, Abuka. But as transfer students, like transferring in, some may decide to live on campus, and I know you live on campus. So can you kind of later on we'll hear like the technical side of things from the housing residence life department, but can you kind of talk about just like your experience living on campus?
Yeah, I can. So it's kind of like an apartment style living to where you have your own room. So it'll be you and a roommate, but each of you, there would be a common living space and then you'll have 2 bedrooms. So you'll have your own separate room. So you have your own privacy in that sense, which is really nice. They have a lot of places to eat on campus for students who do live on campus. So you'll never kind of not have an option of where to eat. There's also a convenience store here. We call it the C store. So if you need like little groceries, just little items for your rooms, toilet paper, paper towels, paper plates, all the snacks, anything like that, you can just run down there, saves you a trip to the grocery store. So it's very convenient living on campus. You're super close to your classes. You can kind of wake up a little bit later and still make it to class on time. So it's really convenient living on campus.
Awesome. Well, the last question that we have is what is your favorite place to eat on campus and what do you usually order from there?
I'm gonna say Starbucks just because I like breakfast. And so I'll go get like a quick coffee or even a tea and then either like a bagel or their breakfast sandwiches or even like a cake pop, everything at Starbucks. I think it's just quick and easy to go in and get out.
Mine would be Panda Express. I eat there like every day. Plate, chow mein, kung pao chicken, and depending on the day, I might do mushroom chicken or black pepper chicken or green bean chicken. So it's usually two chickens for my protein.
Usually chicken.
Yeah, usually chicken.
Awesome. I enjoy Tiny House BBQ, but I haven't had it in a long time. And I told myself that before the semester ends, I'm gonna go get it. So y'all can help me remember to do that. Thank you guys so much for being available to chat with me and with the students, and sharing about your experiences. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions, if you want to speak to a student, we do have a few education majors. They were just in class this morning. So if you want to speak to a specific student education, if you're interested in something different, please email visit@lamar.edu. They'd be happy to set something up to chat, whether that's via phone call or coming in person for a campus tour. You can also go to lamar.edu/visit to schedule a visit, and we'll kind of talk more about that in a little bit. But thank you, Karen and Nabuka, for joining us. I hope you'll have a great rest of your day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You guys have a great day.
So I am going to jump right into our admissions presentation. I'm going to give a little bit of information about Lamar in general, some cost of attendance, scholarship, and then also the admissions process. So give me just a moment to share my screen with you guys. Okay, dokie. I hope everybody can see it. If you do have questions, I have the chat popped up, so hopefully I can see those. If you have any questions as we go through, let me know. But I'm just gonna get started. Oh, give me just a second. Okay. So some points of cardinal pride, as we like to say, just a few things to note about our campus. As you're looking to transfer from San Jacinto Community College to a university, just a couple of things to keep in mind is, the size of the university, the programs that we offer, that the university offers, and then their student to faculty ratio. So that's the big thing that I like to kind of talk about on this information. Feel free to take a picture of it, screenshot it to get all of it, because I could spend 10 minutes alone just talking about everything that's on here. But the big thing is our student to faculty ratio. We do have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio. What that means is that our classroom sizes are smaller. So we're going to have 19 to 25 students in a class, especially transferring in. You'll have a lot of those prerequisite or basic, you may hear the word basic courses done, like Englishes, histories, maths, things like that most students have to take to get their four-year bachelor degree. So you may have some of those completed. And so you'll probably be jumping into the majority of smaller classes. Some of those classes can be a little bit bigger, 60, 80 students, just because every major has to take those classes. But when you really get into your major specific, I graduated from Lamar University. I only had my last year or two, I only had about 10-15 students in a class. So it made it really easy to get connected with your professor, get connected with your classmates. So that's something that I always like to really talk about here. Student organizations. So getting involved is something we push really hard for all students. We want you to get involved. We want you to get connected. Coming in, no matter what level you come in at, no matter your classification, if you're freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, you can get involved. Our dance team, we have tryouts every semester. If that's something you're interested in, but we have over 200 organizations. So we have department and professional, honor societies, mutual interest groups, and sororities and fraternities here at Lamar. So a vast array of things that you can get involved in. And we always say, if you don't see an organization that fits your interest, it's really easy to start one. You just need 4 friends and a faculty member. Or a staff member that would be your mentor. So these are just to name a few. our athletics. We are Division I, and we are in the Western Athletic Conference, or the WAC. I like to say it. I'm silly, but I like to say WAC. We just transitioned into this conference this year. There are our men's and women's NCAA teams. And then we also have club and intramural. So how I'd like to break this down is NCAA is what you would see in collegiate level competing. That's what you see, like, college football, things like that. Club sports, you're still going to compete against other universities and community colleges and organizations within those universities and community colleges, but it's going to be more on your own. You're gonna have to do a lot of fundraising for it. You compete at the competitions you want to go to. So it's like one step down. So if you're kind of wanting still a lot of competition, but not the collegiate level, we have that. And then intramural is what I consider just like, I like sports, but I don't really want to do it. Like for the collegiate level, I just kind of want to have fun. We have flag football, air hockey, dodgeball, basketball. And we can have more. It just depends on who wants to do it that semester. And now we get into the fun stuff, our admissions requirements. So for transfer students with less than 18 hours, you do have to submit your official college transcript. And then you also have to submit your high school transcript. So your high school transcript will need to have your high school graduation date on it, which it should if you graduated. And then your official college transcript, it can be an in-progress transcript, but you will need to submit a final transcript with the final grades for whatever that term is. So for example, if you are looking to transfer in spring of 2022, you could go ahead and submit your San Jacinto Community College transcript right now. But then after the end of this fall semester, when your final grades post, we will need a transcript with those final grades. And then if you have more than 18 hours, you will just need to submit your official college transcripts. And that has to come from all colleges you've attended, whether they're a 4-year university, they're a 2-year, it's a certificate, we will have to have those college transcripts. How to apply. So the first thing you're going to do, if you are applying for spring 2022, Apply Texas did just change their system. So if you apply for spring 2022, it's through applytexas.org, but summer 2022 and anything beyond that, it's goapplytexas.org. So you'll apply and submit your application. We don't require an essay. It is a $25 fee. There's no essay or personal reference or anything like that. You just complete the application. Then you submit all of your official college transcripts. And then if you are transferring in with less than 18 hours, you will have to submit that high school transcript. So easy steps there to apply to the university. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll get accepted. And after you are accepted, a few things that you will need to take care of is activating your Lamar email address. Everybody will contact you through there, most likely similar to how San Jacinto works. You'll need to apply for scholarships, financial aid, housing. If you're under the age of 22, you will need to turn in your meningitis shot record. And then it is not required for transfer students at the moment to sign up for new student orientation, but we do encourage you. We have a transfer student, new student orientation. We do encourage you to sign up for that. You can get all of this information at lubound.com. Next, we have cost of attendance. So in total, it's around $10,300. As you can see, the breakdown here does include room and board. So if you do decide not to live on campus, and the housing department will kind of talk about that in a little bit, but if you decide not to live on campus, you meet those requirements to not have to, and you decide not to, that will be cut out. Also, the $600 books and supplies, that is geared towards just an average, but everybody is different on what they spend on that. And then visiting us on campus. So we do have campus tours Monday through Friday, daily options, they're 11 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Then we also do virtual options. So we have lamar.edu/visit for all the options when it comes to visiting on campus. So if you aren't, I know Sanderson, you may not be able to get down here during the day to do a campus tour. So if you wanted to look at the virtual options, you can watch our virtual campus tour video on the visit page. And then also a really good day to visit the university is our Cardinal View event. This one is called Cardinal Boo. We're Halloween themed for October 30th. And that is a half a day event from 9 a.m. to 12:30. And we would love for anybody to come to that. So it's in a week and a half. So we're super excited about that. You can go to lamar.edu/cardinalview. And then of course, follow us on social media. That's the best way to learn about Lamar and what we have to offer. So you can do that. It's Lamar U Admissions. And then the majority of other departments like organizations, just Lamar University has its own social media. So you can follow other things as well if you kind of want to know a little bit more. And then scholarships. So financial aid should join us later on and kind of go over some information, but I just wanted to touch on scholarships in case they don't have time to touch on that. We do have our Transfer Academic Excellence Scholarship, and then we have our other scholarships. You can see that a priority deadline is January 1st. And then the deadline to apply is March 1st. So that priority deadline just means that if you apply, you're eligible and you receive it, you'll most likely receive it. And then we also have other opportunities that are unique opportunities within like academic college with organizations. And then also the Smith-Hudson scholarship is open for transfer students now as well. And that priority deadline is December 1st. So that is not on this slide. So just note the Smith-Hudson. You can look it up on the scholarship webpage. And the last thing that I want to touch on is your admission counselor. So unfortunately, Kenton had a visit today. So it would have been him talking to you instead of me, but he had already had a visit planned today, visiting with another school. But your admission counselor serves as a liaison for you and all things Lamar University. So they will help you with any question that you may have. He is a great resource for you if you want to check on your status of your application. If you have a question about, advising or financial aid or housing, they can get you an answer. And then if they're not sure, they can get you in contact with somebody. But they are your go-to person. His email address is kjackson110@lamar.edu. And then his phone number is 409-235-1909. It does receive phone calls and text. So if you would rather text, you can text that number as well. But he wanted to make sure that I shared with you his contact information and told you that he is excited to meet with you. So if you are interested in transferring to Lamar University, please get in contact with him if you haven't already, and he would be happy to assist you in the process. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to see for the next couple of minutes if any questions come in, and then we'll kind of transition into the next information. So I don't see any questions that came in. But I'm gonna see if Peter, are you there and ready with housing?
Yes, I am here, Bailey. How are you? Let me just get
I'm good.
myself situated here. Go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. Here we go. Share. Okay. Can everybody, are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay. Wonderful. Beginning. Okay. Does that look good? I'm going to jump in. I'm hopefully you're seeing the right screen here. Does it say
Peter,
housing? Yeah.
you may want to swap screens. I think we're seeing your presentation
You're seeing-
screens with the slides that are queued up.
Okay. Bear with me for 1 second here. Let's go back to my first slide.
At the top, Peter, the display settings, there's a little arrow, the top left.
Okay.
It says display settings. Click, I think that's what I clicked. Click that.
Okay, I see it here.
And
Okay.
then it should allow you from there to swap. Yeah.
Swap. How's
Perfect.
that?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, excellent. I have one of my colleagues in the room. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Bailey. Appreciate that, Melinda. My name is Peter Gatto. I am the Director of Housing and Residence Life. I also have my colleague Abby Flores in the room. My office is only so big, but Abby's here as well to assist if any additional questions kind of come up at the end. So I only have you for about 15 minutes. So I'll try to make the most of my time and then allow for 2 to 3 minutes of questions that may pop up. So as I stated, my name is Peter Gatto. I'm the Director of Housing and Residence Life. I have about 6 points that I kind of wanted to share with all of you while I have you. And in terms of your scenario being a potential transfer student, we do have a first-year housing expectation. So anybody under 30 credit hours would be required to live on campus. And that's why I'm here to kind of talk about all the wonderful opportunities that we have here if you were to live at Lamar and attend Lamar. So if you wanted to apply for housing, our housing application does open February 1st of 22. So you'll see that and we'll start to send out notifications and you'll be able to access that once you have your L number and we kind of get more into the spring, early spring, you've been accepted at Lamar. We do have two bedrooms that folks can live in a suite. That's the way they're all designed. We have 5 residence halls, and each hall houses approximately 300 to 500 residents. It is first come, first served basis with our contract. So we do highly encourage individuals to complete the application as soon as possible, as soon as it opens up. The next slide that I'm going to kind of go through is our residence life staff. The advantages of living on campus over living at home, perhaps, or living on your own in another apartment. There's quite a list of reasons, but one of the big advantages that I like to point out is that we do have a large residence life staff that helps kind of oversee and manage the entire complex, work with our students. We have 40 resident assistants, as you kind of see in that picture. Also mixed in, we do have residence directors and assistance directors. So there is a building manager that works with the resident assistants that would be your direct liaison to anything related to housing or to the university as a whole. So they serve as a resource for you while you're living here at Lamar. We do take safety and security very, very seriously here at Lamar, especially in Cardinal Village, our housing complex. It's our #1 priority and at the nucleus of everything that we do. So if you were to live in the residence halls, we do have key card access that you have to utilize to enter the front door. We have multiple layers. We also have a full-time security guard in each building 24/7 that monitors who's coming in and out of the buildings at all times. Only residents that reside in Cardinal Village do have access to the residence halls as well. We do have LUPD, which do a phenomenal job, very visible. They spend a lot of time, just being present in Cardinal Village and making sure all of our students are safe and secure at all times. They do have scheduled random patrols. One of the other big advantages are our resident assistants and our full-time staff do have duty schedules where they're on call. So it doesn't matter what day, what time, as long as we have students living in Cardinal Village, you'll always be able to get a hold of somebody. So it could be anything from a minor work order in your room, something facilities related that you need to get fixed, to something, it could be something more serious. But we want you all to have the opportunity to be able to contact somebody for any of the needs that you would have living here at Cardinal Village. Some of the other things I really want to hit home, it's with the contract, we're all inclusive. So if you were living off campus or living in your own apartment, obviously you have your electric bill, your cable bill, and the different bills that kind of come in on a monthly basis. Now, the wonderful, convenient aspect that we provide is all these amenities are already embedded in the agreement. So you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi. We take care of that. You don't have to worry about washers and dryers. All of our buildings have washers and dryers. Everything is covered. So all you have to do, you don't have to use quarters or any sort of pay program. Everything's included, and those are yours to use at any time. All of our halls also have kitchens. Now, there's one main kitchen in each hall that residents have the opportunity to use as well. If they want to cook, if they want to have a program or do things of that nature, that is something also that you have access to. Some of the other areas that I want to point out that students love to take advantage of are we have a volleyball court. Each of our buildings has either a pool table, a foosball table, a media room. So there's a lot of opportunities to kind of get together, play video games, watch a game, or just socialize. We also have a beautiful pool out back here that students like to use, along with the basketball court, and as I mentioned, a very nice volleyball court. You can see in one of the photos there at the top right, that's the courtyard. So each one of our residence halls has that courtyard. There's a sitting area right in the middle there. A lot of students like to hang out there, read a book, have a chat with another resident, do some homework. So we really try to, give you the opportunity to be able to just hang out, do what you have fun doing, but also engaging and meeting folks in the community. One of the other things I really, really like to point out is the proximity while living on campus. That's something that would be a little bit more challenging if you had to commute. But living here, you have access to the dining hall, you have access to the library, the rec center, the student center. All your professors are a fingertip away. A quick call or stop by their office. So if there's any sort of academic related resources that you need, your academic advising, everything is literally within a 5-minute walk. That's a big advantage. I tell students and I tell parents, you can wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, and go to class. You don't have to worry about, a 30, 45-minute commute. So we try to make it as convenient and everything as easy to obtain as possible. One of the other things I want to point out is that we program quite frequently. These are just some examples of the different things that we do within the halls. The resident assistants, as well as our full-time staff, do have a programming paradigm or requirements that we ask them to do. So there's always something going on. So sometimes I'll hear students saying, hey, I'm bored. Well, did you try, painting with the twist? Did you go to the Halloween pumpkin carving contest? Did you go and use the rec center? So there's always something to do, which again is a big advantage, being present, being physically here on campus. So again, you can see with some of the photos, there's a lot of different things and cool things going on. So one of the big points, and I like to always share this, and a lot of research, I've been in the field now for 15 years, and in grad school, I did a lot of research. So my background is in higher ed administration. And one of the things that we'd like to focus on is data. And I don't want to bore you with a lot of data, but I do want to point out that students that live on campus are more likely to remain in college. They typically have higher GPAs. I personally pull all GPAs across all the halls every semester to kind of see how students are doing. Do we have enough resources in the halls? And are we bringing resources in if I start to see areas where students are struggling? And then also, in terms of graduating, they graduate on time. You talk about retention. You talk about in terms of, has a student persisted? Are they able to, once they enroll, get through the 4 years or the 5 years that it takes and get that diploma? So within housing, we're monitoring all that, and we're making sure that we're offering all those resources to make sure that's possible for you as a student. And lastly, I just want to share some of our contact information. If you have questions, it could be about the application, please email us at housing@lamar.edu. I think a big suggestion I have for all of you is, if you're a little bit more curious, our Housing Residence Life website has all the information I just discussed, and it even elaborates on more of some of the items that I mentioned. So if you haven't had a chance, please go check out our website. And again, I'm Peter Gatto. I'm also listed on there. So if you have any questions, you can always give me a call. That's our main number right there. I'd be happy to discuss our incredible housing program. And it was a pleasure with speaking all of you. I think I have a minute or two left. So I have Abby, as I mentioned, in the room. She helps me with all the day-to-day logistics and different details. So if you want to go ahead, Bailey, I don't know if we have time, or whoever's in charge. If we have time, let's ask some questions.
Sorry, Peter. My computer like froze on me.
No worries.
I was like, what is happening right now? Yeah, so I don't see anything in the chat yet at the moment. But I know you kind of touched on it briefly. But for transfer students, is there any like specific requirements because this is San Jacinto Community College, they would be transferring in, and I know I spoke with Abby earlier, and I didn't know if you maybe could touch on just any specific requirements for transfer students.
Thank you, Billy. Thanks for the question. I have Abby. She's in the room. I'll let her weigh in. Abby.
No, we don't have any special requirements. They can apply just like freshmen or returning students. If they don't have the 30 credit hours, then they would be required to live on campus their first year.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you. That kind of, I don't know. Nobody asked that, but I feel like if I was a transfer student, I'd be like, is there anything specific for me? So thank you for answering that. And then as far as their contact information goes to the students that are here, they are really awesome. Please contact them. They will be at Cardinal Boo. So if you come to Cardinal Boo, you'll be able to see a dorm. And then also on the website that's linked there, you can see the room options and the meal plans and all that information. So contact them if you have any questions for sure. But I'm not seeing any questions come in. So thank you, Peter. Thank you, Abby, for joining with us and giving this information. Just so y'all know, it is being recorded and it's going to be sent out to other students that weren't able to attend today. So I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us. And so does San Jacinto, I'm sure.
Thank you, Bailey. Appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day. All right, so I do believe that Alicia with financial aid is joined in with us to kind of talk about financial aid and all that there is to go with financial aid. So hey, Alicia, thanks for joining. I did briefly mention scholarships earlier, kind of touched on that. So if you don't have time to touch on scholarships, maybe just kind of talk about financial aid first, since it's only 15 minutes. But I did briefly kind of talk about the different scholarships for transfer students. So I'll go ahead and hand it to you if you just want to jump on in.
Yeah, so mine is real brief. I'll be honest, because financial aid is pretty standard across the board for a lot of different institutions. And what I'll go ahead and do, just so that you can have our contact information, let me share our screen, or my screen. Can everyone see our contact information there?
I am not seeing it yet, Alicia.
Okay. How about now?
Give me just a second. It shows that you started sharing your screen. There it is. Perfect.
Okay. So really all of our information for incoming students, current students, can be found on our website. With your students, if they are looking at transferring over to Lamar University, they have probably been through the financial aid process before. The biggest difference for them is going to be that they just need to add our school code to their FAFSA for whatever academic year that they're coming into the university for. And they can easily search that on the FAFSA website. But that is what we need in order to package their financial aid. So if they have questions, they're more than welcome to come over to our website or give us a call for financial aid. We usually send any kind of packaging information or outstanding requirements to those students of if we're missing something, if they have verification or anything, to them pretty quickly. Once we receive that FAFSA, they'll receive all official communication from our office, whether it's financial aid, scholarships, veteran affairs, to their university email address. So that means that they have to be admitted to the university first and foremost before they're able to do anything within our office. But they should be able to keep track of that information within their student information. So I know that Bailey, you mentioned scholarships already. I do, if you stop me if I'm repeating anything that you've said, but all of our scholarship information is here on our website as well. They can access it through our My Scholarships website. They can do that here, or let me see, I'm going to click my home button. When they go to our website, they have an LU Connect button where they can access all their information, and there is that My Scholarships button there as well. So that is where they're going to want to go and apply to all of our information there. And let me get back to financial aid real quick.
Alicia, I also wanted to mention to you that this will be sent out to students because they are recording it. So I was going to say, for sure, if you'll kind of touch on the main financial aid page, because there's so much resources there.
Yes, there's a lot of information. There's a lot just underneath our bucket and our umbrella. So for scholarships, really our big opportunities are going to be for PTK. That is a transfer scholarship that we offer here for our students. And any of our students are eligible for it's over 750 unique opportunities. So they're eligible for the same scholarships that any of our other students are eligible for. And by going to the My Scholarships page, completing our general application, and then also the application for their college. So if they are a music major, they're going to be in the College of Fine Arts and Communication Engineering, College of Engineering and such. So they'll want to do those 2 applications underneath our webpage. I do want to mention for scholarships, we do award on a fall and spring basis. So if we have students coming in for the spring, I will be upfront, most of our scholarships would have been awarded at that point in time, but I always encourage students to complete the application for that current year, because we are constantly going back and checking all of our scholarships to see if maybe a student didn't attend, if a student maybe didn't meet the criteria and fell off the scholarship. We will go back and award those students or that money to potential students in there. So still complete that information. The application can be renewed each academic year as well. But like I mentioned, over 750 unique opportunities here at Lamar University for scholarships, and then for financial aid as well. We do have state grants, we have federal funds that we award our students. I do want to briefly mention our veteran benefits as well. So I know that Hazelwood is a common benefit for students that transfer. So off of our same website, you're going to have our veteran affairs information. It does have all the different kind of benefits on here, but students do come here to apply for that benefit as well, and it's processed within our office. So both our federal and our Hazelwood benefits are processed through our financial aid, scholarships, and VA office here on campus. Some of our priority deadlines for VA benefits, it's going to be based on what semester they're coming into. It will give that to them, and it's really just to make sure that we process their benefit in a timely manner. For scholarships and financial aid, scholarships, we do have a final deadline of February 1st. I say it's a final deadline, but really it's kind of in flux because we're constantly awarding students throughout the summer for the upcoming fall and spring term. And then for financial aid, we have a priority deadline for our state grants of February 1st. But again, if we have budgets available for those state grants, we will continue to award those to our students coming in. So we do a automatic financial aid package for our financial aid students as well, where they can go in and see what they're eligible for. So that's financial aid in a nutshell. Let me get back to our financial aid contact information. Again, a lot of our information is online, email, phone as well for all of us. It's pretty standard from institution to institution. Scholarships is probably the big one that differs. So I would just encourage students that as soon as they're thinking about, continuing on their education after their 2-year degree, to apply to the university quickly and to complete their financial aid and their scholarship application sooner rather than later. Even if it's a semester out, the earlier the better, so that we can make sure that we can get the information to them as soon as possible.
Awesome. And Alicia, can you go back to the main financial aid page and show, like, down at the bottom, isn't there a spot for, yes, the filling out your FAFSA? I just wanted, like, for when they send this to students, like, for students to know that, like, these are helpful videos to help with filling out the FAFSA if you didn't do it, or it's been a minute since you've done it, with transferring in and getting everything done while in school for a lot of the transfer students. So I just kind of wanted to point that out, of the resources that are there.
Yeah, and for students who are not eligible to file a FAFSA, we do accept TASFAs. So for those students, they can complete that and mail that into our office. We're trying to go electronic with that, but I know it won't be a thing for the spring semester, but hopefully by the fall semester, we'll have that electronic for those students. A lot of students maybe wonder what I may be eligible for, and I do want to point out our net price calculator. You can access it through our website, but also on the admissions page as well, underneath the cost information. There's a quick and easy link there. So if students are curious what they may qualify for, as well as what their courses may cost, this will give them a nice kind of general package. They'll go through and answer some questions, but it'll give them an idea of what they may qualify for and what their out-of-pocket expense may be as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Alicia. I don't see any questions in the chat at the moment, but I'm sure everybody saw the contact information. Financial aid and scholarships are awesome to work with, so reach out to them. One thing to note is once you apply to the university, you will need to use your and are accepted, you will need to use your Lamar ID Lamar email address. And we talked about that in our admission slide. So remember, that's once you're accepted, the first step is to activate your Lamar email. So make sure you do that so you can contact any questions you have with financial aid and scholarships. But thank you, Alicia, for taking your time out to kind of share with us a little bit about financial aid and the resources that are out there. Did you have anything that you wanted to say before getting off?
Just don't be afraid to reach out to us if you have questions. All of our contact information is on our website, easy to find. Even if it seems like it's just a very general question, don't be embarrassed, because financial aid is not an easy process for a lot of people, and it's new for everyone at some point in time. But it doesn't hurt to ask. So definitely reach out to us if y'all have any questions, and hopefully we have some future Cardinals coming to us.
Awesome. Thanks, Alicia.
Yes, y'all have a good one.
You too. All right. So if you have any questions, like Alicia said, contact financial aid and scholarships. They would be happy to talk to you. You also can talk to your mission counselor, and they can get you in contact with them if you forget the contact information. So remember, that's Kitten. So he can get you in contact with financial aid and scholarships if you didn't get that contact information. So now we are running a little bit early, but Dr. Titus, are you guys ready?
I think we are. How you doing today?
I'm good. Hey, Dr. Titus, thank you so much for joining us. So Dr. Titus is the department chair for education. He is a wonderful spokesperson for our education department, a wealth of knowledge. He's also joined with a few other faculty and staff members of the College of Education. So I'm sure they'll introduce themselves as they talk, but I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Titus, and you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate being here today. What a very exciting time. New students from Lamar and San Jacinto, we are excited about the partnership. And so if I can, I want to share my screen. I have so much I want to share with you all. And so it's my understanding that we have faculty and staff from St. Jack, as well as students online. Is that correct?
Yes, so we have students, and then they're also recording it to send out to students that weren't able to join in, that are in classes and different things. So it's going to go out to other students. So definitely share as much as you can share.
Okay. Okay, can you all see my screen?
We can. It looks great.
It says, welcome to Teach Education. It's a brighter day in Teach Education at Lamar University, and we're excited to have your interest. That's a picture of me and my students in the math methods class. And we are hands-on learning in that EC6 program. So I want to talk to you a little bit about our program. Let's see if I could get my slides to work. Just a second here. Okay, there they go. So my name is Freddie Titus. Yes, I am the interim chair of Teach Education, and math pedagogy is my forte. Listen, any of y'all ever had a math teacher that was new to math but couldn't teach, or vice versa, that they could teach but didn't know the math? Mm-hmm. Well, I've been blessed that I can do both. I love teaching math content, and I get it. I know how to teach math content. That's where that pedagogy comes in. And so I'm excited about that. Just a little bit about my research agenda. It's about cognitive analysis and development of math students. You don't need to know that. I'm a faculty advisor as well, and I still enjoy going out in K-12, working with students and teachers. And I believe in this notion of student-centered learning. And if you ever take a class from me, you're going to walk away from my class talking about productive struggle. I believe once you figure out something on your own, you gain so much knowledge as opposed to somebody telling you all the time. All right. So here at Lamar University, within our department, Interdisciplinary Studies, these classes on the left-hand side. So we have EC6 Journalists. That's where you teach all the content In elementary school, we have 4 through 8 English, language, arts, and reading. We have 4 through 8 math. We have 4 through 8 math and science. We have 4 through 8 composite science. We have 4 through 8 social studies, 4 through 8 generalist, and EC12 special education that is housed within our department. Now, if you're a secondary major, if you want to teach 7 through 12 content area, then you would have to get a degree in that content area. Let's say, for example, like math, you would have to get a math degree or English or history degree. But then you would take 21 hours of pedagogy related courses within our department. So you can get certified in secondary as well through our department. We have an awesome faculty. Just want to talk a little bit about our faculty. Our faculty, I believe, is second to none. We have Dr. Caleb Hood, Miss Pamela Patterson, Sharon Carter. I'm just skipping around. Those are our literacy teachers. Dr. Cheryl Nelson, she's a journalist. Dr. Rios, diversity. Dr. Marta Singh is our science. And Dr. Catherine Sprott, she is another journalist. She teach all content area, and she's gonna tell you specifically what she really like once she's up. She's here today. And then Ms. Pamela Cho is our technology teacher. And so we have a real awesome faculty. And then not listed here, but you will hear from later in this presentation, Miss Jody Slaughter, who's over our field experience. Okay, so just some tidbits about teachers. Teacher salaries range from $34,000 to $60,000 a year. And if you're majoring in one of those STEM related fields, then there's that goes up, and there is a signing bonus associated with that. I want to introduce you all to Dr. Monta Singh. Dr. Monta Singh is going to talk to you all about scholarships here at Lamar. Dr. Monta Singh?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Yes, like Dr. Titus mentioned earlier, I am in education department, teach education, and I primarily teach science methods course and assessments. I'm just going to walk you through the, I cannot use it. Would you mind using the cursor for me, Dr. Titus?
Yes, I can use the cursor.
Okay. All right, guys. So if you have already been accepted at Lamar, you can use, go to Lamar portal, LU Connect, and you see the icon that is in brown. It says My Scholarships. So if you click on that, and I just took a screenshot, so in this one you won't be able to click it, but if you click on that, it will take you a page and you'll be able to log in with your Lamar user's name and your password. And that will take you to like the scholarships that, primarily or specifically offered to our students, meaning that if you're in teacher ed department, like there are a variety of scholarships. You have options to choose from the scholarships and apply. So what I usually encourage my students to do it, like, please, the deadline for scholarship is, I think you can quote me on that, February the 1st. 2021. Okay, so make sure that you do apply, log in, apply for all the scholarships and you think you'll be eligible for. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
And listen, with our scholarships, we have tons and tons of scholarships. So you want to make sure that you log in My Scholarships. Okay, thank you, Dr. Monta Singh. Okay, so okay, so the way the program works, and so you all will be coming from St. Jack to Lamar University, so you are transfer students, and so we have this core program, about 45 hours, and that you have to complete. And some of the courses that you take at Sam Jack, definitely, well, just about all of them will transfer over and even portions of the education courses. I know in particular one course that you all have, I think is equivalent to our 2310, which is an introductory course to education. But all the English and the math that you take most likely will transfer over. To apply, you have to apply to be in teacher education, and to apply, you have to have these core courses done, and we'll look at them, and I'll show you another slide with those core courses in it. And you got to have a grade of C or better. To get in our department, you must have a 2.75 on a 4.0 scale. And so you want to make sure that you keep your grades up. The other thing is you have to take the TSI assessment or some alternative tests that will say that you are eligible to get in the teacher education program. There's going to be a criminal history background check, and then there's a one-time fee of $75. That's an application fee to a part of that process. All right, so in your freshman year, most likely, and this is true at St. Jack, probably, that you've had some English communication, Math 1314, which is college algebra, Math 1350. I'm sure y'all have a class very similar to that. That's a math course for people majoring in elementary education, history, political science. And so very basic curriculum. And again, that is around about 45 hours worth of work that you will transfer it in. But then when you get to Lamar, you have a few classes probably that you have to plug in that's in other content areas, but the majority of the classes that you're going to take are going to be courses within our department. And so within our department, we have three types of classes. We have the pedagogy classes, and so those are PEDG, and most of those are methodology classes. So how do you teach math? How do you teach social studies? How do you teach within the literacy block, which is reading and writing? So you get some you get to take courses in that area. Then we have classroom management. So how do you manage a class? And then we have an assessment class. So how do you assess students? And those are really, really good. And Miss Jody Slaughter is going to talk about the field component that's associated with those courses. Then you take, if you're in early childhood, you're going to take some EACH courses. And those EACH courses are designed for people who are interested in early childhood. In addition to that, we have READ courses. And so those are those literacy courses that you must take. And if you are a secondary major, we do have 21 hours of education courses that's geared toward those who will be teaching secondary. And Dr. Sprott, she teaches the secondary methods class, and she teaches also 3300, which is the human development class.
Dr. Titus, we have two questions.
Okay, I'm sorry.
On chat, it says, can we get a copy of this presentation? And the other one is, do we have EC through EC through third option?
No, we don't. At Lamar, we only have EC6, so we don't have EC3.
And how about,
Yes.
Can they get the copy of it?
So yeah, you will have the video. I think they told me that they're videotaping this. So I'm not sure how they're gonna put that out, but absolutely, you will have access to this. Is that correct? Our rep from San Jack.
It is correct, Dr. Titus. This is Bailey. And also, I think, is the degree plan on the website as well?
Yes, you can go to our website, the teacher education website, and you'll be able to see the degree plan. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. My name is Carissa Bowles. I'm the program director for education and child development. So I wanted to get a copy of this so that I could share with students, but if it's on the website, I'll look at that, because as students transfer, they really need to look to see what's actually is going to go. So this is very helpful for students to have as they're making their decisions. in regards to transfer paths. Are you taking 1350, 1351? Are you taking any of the TECAs and all that, the EDUCs? So this is very helpful. So that's why I would asked if we could get a copy, but if it's on the website, we'll look there.
It is on the website, but let's get together. Let's get together because we have that 2+2 plan. And so within the 2+2 plan, you can see what courses transfer.
That's
Okay,
fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, so if you would shoot me your information, then we can get together on that. Okay.
I
'Cause that's
will
gonna
do
be
that.
more useful. Okay.
I will do that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so theory and practice. We are a department that whatever we teach is student-centered. And so we look at ensuring equity across the board. What does that mean? We have a variety of school districts across the state of Texas. And so we want to make sure that we are teaching all students, and that's one of the standards. Clear game plan for what it is that we're going to do, focusing on learning, quality resources, and that reflection piece. So metacognition, I don't know if y'all know what that means yet, but thinking about your thinking. And so thinking about, as students go through our program, they think about, what it is that they're doing in this thing that we call teaching. And culturally responsive teaching, teaching to all students is very, very important. In addition, in our program, we prepare you for the state test. And so we have like a local test, a Lamar proficiency test. And that department is run by Ms. Dimples Jones. And so when you take the methods courses, you get to take, if you're EC6, you get to take the math methods test, the test associated with math, teaching math content, teaching social studies, teaching science, and secondary likewise for the content area. So we provide that, and we also provide remediation for those tests as well. Okay, I'm going to ask Ms. Jody Slaughter. She just recently joined us, and we're excited about the work that she's doing within our college and within our department with field experience. And she's going to share with you her role, and she's going to talk about field experience and clinical teaching.
Well, hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to meet you. Sure hope you guys transfer over here so you can be a part of our Lamar family. So field experiences are designed to provide on-the-job training for teacher candidates so that when you get out in the field, when you accept your first job, you're comfortable in the classroom, feel confident, and will stay within the profession. We want to keep you as teachers for the full gamut of your career. So field-based courses are split between those that involve teaching in the classroom that you're observing. So for those classes, math, social studies, and science methods, you'll be asked to conduct a lesson, and your instructors will observe and provide feedback to you on those lessons that you do. And then we've got 6 additional field-based courses where you will go on to a campus. You'll be assigned to a classroom teacher, and you will spend 30 hours observing that teacher and helping that teacher in the classroom in that content area. And then we're going to go to the next slide. Once you've finished those courses and you're ready for your clinical teaching and you meet the qualifications for that, you'll become a clinical teacher. You'll be on campus for a full semester, your last semester of school. And during that semester, the first 15 hours of observation will be conducted before your 70-day start. Those 15 hours are designed to be covered in the first 15 days of class, where you will observe a teacher establishing classroom procedures for their students. This is where you really set the tone of what your school year is going to be like if you learn how to do this really well. then your classroom management is much easier. So we do want you to spend those 15 hours with your cooperating teacher, learning how they set up that classroom structure. Then you'll spend 70 days in clinical teaching for that semester. The first 3 weeks, we anticipate that you'll be observing, assisting, team teaching with your cooperating teacher. Within the 4th through 6 weeks, you'll be teaching at least half a day, transitioning to full days of teaching in that classroom for 7 to 12 weeks. That classroom will be yours with the cooperating teacher providing you direction as you teach full-time those students. And then you'll transition at the end of the semester back to the cooperating teacher. And then you'll be off and ready to start teaching in your own classroom. And we really hope to make these field-based experiences relevant for you so that you do feel very confident when you go out and begin teaching in your own classroom. And that's it.
Okay, do y'all have any questions for her? Somebody checking the chat box.
I don't believe so, Dr. Titus.
Okay, all right, then we'll move forward. Next, we have Dr. Catherine Sprott, and she's gonna talk to you about our student organizations.
Hello, how are you guys doing today? Welcome to Lamar. I'm hoping that many of you will decide to enter our very cultivated environment to cure you and prepare you for teaching in the field. I do believe when I think about student organizations, these particular student organizations are designed to support each of you as you continue your journey as an educator. We have two organizations that I will talk about today, Kappa Delta Pi and the Lamar Student Education Association. Kappa Delta Pi is, go ahead and go to the next one, Dr. Titus. The next screen. Okay, LSCA, Lamar's, okay,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. LSCA is a national organization where basically it is the most powerful association in the state of Texas and the nation, where in the state of Texas alone, there are 68,000 Texans who are members of this particular organization. And educators in the field, we feel are very important that our educators, as well as the students in the field, have a voice in the profession. And so basically what that means is when you're in the field, then you have a support mechanism that you can refer to at any time during your during the duration that you're out in the field and that you're a member of LSCA. There are multiple trainings that exist for LSCA. There's also what we call an employment defense fund. And LSCA is an affiliate of NEA, the National Education Association, where they spend more than $14 million for legal support for members through this particular organization. For an example, let me just share with you one incident that happened in the context of a classroom with an educator. A parent called for the dismissal of a teacher because the teacher tapped her son's ankle to get his attention in the classroom. And so the parent called for the dismissal of that teacher and believed that Child Protective Services should have been called. Well, LSCA, one of the benefits is you have access to a network of attorneys across the state. And of course, the local board voted unanimously to deny all relief requested by the parent, simply because this was this incident was not an incident where Child Protective Service should have been involved. And so there are, as you can see before you, there are multiple benefits for becoming a member of LSCA. There's a $35 fee for you to become a member of this organization. And there are some other constructs that are involved. When we think about LSCA collaborate with other community organizations as well as other student organizations. There are multiple leadership opportunities. There opportunities for professional development. We usually attend the state conference in Austin yearly. And this past year, it was a virtual conference, and our students still had an opportunity to learn quite a bit of information regarding their continuous professional development, because even though they are in school, there are opportunities for them to learn more about this concept of teaching. And so there are also some great benefits, what we call member benefits, with regarding discounts for hotels, car insurance. There are just a multiplicity of benefits that are associated with LSEA. On the other hand, we have Kappa Delta Pi, which is an honorary organization where you have to have a cumulative GPA of 3.0 to be in this organization. And you also have to have 2 letters of recommendation. And there's basically you get an opportunity to become a member of this organization as a result of those recommendations. It's another opportunity to demonstrate leadership. And of course, you have continuous academic and professional support out in the field. Okay, so one is an honorary society, and the other is an organization that's linked to, of course, the national organization NEA. If you become a member of either of these organizations, you have what you call liability insurance. Liability insurance is very, very important in the context of being out in the field. As I explained to you previously, this incident with a parent who tried to dismiss a teacher as a result of her perspective on what happened to her child. All right, and I think that's it for me, Dr. Titus.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions for us? Any questions? I don't see any questions. Again, we want to thank you all for extending the invitation to us to come and share. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we look forward to having students from St. Jack to join us here at Lamar University. Bailey, we're back in your hands.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all for that wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
I learned information I didn't even know. So thank you guys so much. And yes, thank you, St. Jack, for letting us have this visit. We hope that you got all the information that you wanted. Watch the recording back if you need to get that contact information. We're excited to work with you to get you to transfer to Lamar University. And thank you for having us today.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Y'all have a great day.
You as well.